All right, YouTube, this Detroit's HPTV coming to you out of Detroit. I want y'all to pay attention to this story because a lot of times we don't pay attention and we think things be conspiracy theories. But I've been following this lady, Miss Hinton, and following her research work. Now, they found out that genetically modified and genetically engineered mosquitoes have been being placed in the community, billions of them. Now, the gene they putting genes in the mosquitoes, and the genes make the female mosquitoes not be able to reproduce. But I'm gonna just listen to the story. This for fair uses, commentary, educational purposes. Check this story out.
Now, including myself. The government has been releasing genetically modified mosquitoes.
This came with a lot of controversy, though. Yeah. Thousands of genetically modified mosquitoes have been released.
Controversial plan to release genetically modified mosquitoes to help combat the population.
These are mosquitoes that are grown in a lab by scientists. And these lab-grown mosquitoes are being released in certain parts of the United States as well as in other countries. But don't worry, I'm about to tell you all about this, about what they are actually putting in these mosquitoes, why they are doing this. I'm going to tell you the areas that they are releasing these things in, and everything else you need to know about this. So you definitely don't want to miss this one. What's up, guys? This is Monique and welcome back to the channel. I am back with the news that you definitely can use. But first, if you are new here, hello, bonjour, hola, aloha, konnichiwa, wagwan, shalom, assalamu alaikum, jambo, namaste. So I don't know if you've seen that viral video that someone captured of what they believe is the United States releasing these genetically modified mosquitoes by helicopter in the air over certain parts of the United States.
Now I'm gonna stop right there. Now, this where it get interesting is because people thought the mosquitoes were being released through the air. Wait till you find out how these mosquitoes are being brought to the community.
And when I came across this and I actually saw that video, you know I had to do some research to find out what in the world is really going on. And lo and behold, I came across a government website, the CDC, and they actually confirmed that yes, there is lab-grown mosquitoes that are being released right now. And this has actually been going on for some years now. The very first release of these lab-grown mosquitoes in the United States happened in April of 2021. So they out there, y'all, and they've been flying around for a little bit now.
Leave-in treatment provides stronger hair with immediate results. Acidic bonding concentrate. Shop now.
I've got home internet from T-Mobile. It only costs $50 at T-Mobile. They won't raise your rates at T-Mobile. You'll get a great deal every day.
And since then, they have been releasing more and more of these things. And according to the CDC, at this time, there has been over 1 billion lab-grown, genetically modified mosquitoes that have been released around the world. But comment down below and let me know if you have heard anything about this at all, or even if you've seen that video of what is said to be the government releasing these mosquitoes. But I'm about to go ahead and break this down for you because we all need to know what's going on. I'm going to tell you what they are actually doing to these mosquitoes, what would happen if you are bitten by one of these things. So these lab-grown mosquitoes is actually a project. It is an experiment that was started by a company called Oxitec. And what they are actually doing is they take a specific type of mosquito called Aedes aegypti. And they take them to the lab, and in the lab they are feeding them so that they can get them to lay eggs. And once these mosquitoes lay eggs, they immediately take them to an injection lab where they inject 2 different type of genes that are not normally in these mosquitoes. And one of the genes that they inject in them is called a marker gene. And this allows these genetically modified mosquitoes to actually glow once they are put under a certain light. And this is so that when they need to, they can identify which mosquitoes are lab grown versus which mosquitoes are just wild mosquitoes. So that's one of the genes that they are putting into these things in the lab. Now there's another gene called a self-limiting gene. And they inject this into these lab grown mosquitoes as well. And this particular one is in unaliver. It actually deceases, and I'm using these words purposely because I don't want YouTube to have no problem with me saying anything else. But they prevent any female mosquito from making it into adulthood. So the male mosquito eggs that carry this self-limiting gene, when they are released in particular areas, once they hatch and develop and they are ready to mate, then they go out and mate with all of these wild mosquitoes. Once they mate and the females lay their eggs, that pretty much takes the female out. And out of the eggs that are laid, any female ones won't survive into adulthood, but the males do, and they continue this process and they continue to pass on these genes that were put in them in a lab. Now, I hope that this is making sense to you so far. Let me know down below.
And you got to be careful when the government when the government starts doing experiments and things of this nature, because if they can put a marker that prevents the females from reaching adulthood, that's the same thing as sterilizing the mosquitoes. But if you can sterilize the mosquitoes or sterilize anything through genetic markers, there'll be a time to where they will try this on human beings in population control on certain demographics and certain people that they don't want to populate. You know what I mean? It's been done before. So, what is the ramifications of one of these marked mosquitoes if they bite a human being? They say that they're harmless, but how can they possibly know that? I mean, we always have people passing away from unknown causes or reactions to things in the environment that we don't even know is out there in the environment. Think about it.
If we still here. And I still have to tell you what they say will happen if these things actually get a hold to you. But if you are anything like me, other than wanting to know why in the world they are doing this at all, I'm sure you are wondering, why are they particularly unaliving these female mosquitoes? Now, according to the CDC and to science, only the female mosquito bite and feed off of humans. And they do this because they need a blood meal in order to be able to produce their egg. The reason they are targeting this specific species of mosquitoes, these are the ones that are considered the most deadly. These are the ones that are out here spreading diseases to humans. They carry Zika. I don't know if y'all remember that. They also carry yellow fever and a few other that they are able to spread to humans. And these are the diseases that have no cure. There's no type of medication to really treat these things. So the CDC and Oxitec says they want to try to reduce the amount of mosquitoes that are actually carrying and passing these diseases on to humans, to reduce these diseases from being spread. Now, if you are wondering, where have they been putting these mosquitoes out? Where are these things being released? The very first place in the United States that this was released in 2021 was in Florida. And another state that this is being released in is Texas. And at this time, those are the only two states that this has been going on in. But there's another big one. As I was doing my research, I saw that's trying to join the team and get on board.
Most people have no clue that in 2023, the best way to make money on Amazon is not with physical products. It's Amazon's other company.
And that is the state of California. Now, it hasn't been done yet as far as what I was able to find. However, it may be soon. As well as other states. Like I said, this is fairly new, so they're just starting in these particular areas, but other states are catching wind of what's going on here too. And these mosquitoes are mainly problems in the southern states, so if you live in the south, anywhere in these states that you see blue, you may be one of the states that will be soon sharing territory and possibly your blood with some of these lab-grown mosquitoes. Now, a big question I know many people want to know is, how are these things being released? Because I did show you a video earlier that people are saying they're witnessing the government releasing these mosquitoes into the air. But according to CNN and the Oxitec company itself, that is actually not the mosquitoes being released, and that is not how they release them. So these mosquitoes are actually delivered to certain areas in a box. And they have to get volunteers from these communities that they want to place these boxes in for them to allow them to put these boxes.
I want you to notice that the people carrying the boxes was wearing masks. So that's how toxic these mosquitoes must be, but that even in the box, the carriers have to wear masks.
On their property. And so once people sign up and say, yeah, you can place this in front of my house, then the company comes and deliver these boxes, and they put a little water in them to activate them so that these mosquitoes can hatch and then grow into adults, and then they fly out of these boxes. Because they're not actually releasing the mosquitoes themselves. What they are delivering to people's homes is the mosquitoes' eggs. So I am not sure what this is being released into the air, but it's definitely not these genetically modified mosquitoes. Now, I know many people have problems with this because of the fact that they feel if you are able to manipulate these mosquitoes and add those two genes to it, what else can you add to these mosquitoes? I've come across some research that they've been testing certain vaccines on mosquitoes. I didn't dig deep into that particular one, but again, I know a lot of people are questioning this because they are realizing that you can put more than those two genes in mosquitoes and you have no idea what's out here just biting you. But according to them, these particular mosquitoes, the only two genes that they put in them is the self-limiting one I told you about and the marker gene. Now, as far as what actually happens if you get bitten by these mosquitoes, and the CDC says, and I am going to read this verbatim, the EPA, which is the Environmental Protection Agency, evaluated the potential risk of releasing GM, genetically modified mosquitoes, into communities and determined that there is no risk to people, animals, or the environment. So they are basically saying if you end up coming into contact with these lab grown mosquitoes and one of them bite you, then there is no risk to you. However, the mosquitoes that they are delivering, the eggs, are only males. And like we said earlier, males don't bite humans. But in the case that you just so happen to be bitten by a mosquito that either encountered a male that has the self-limiting gene or just something out there strange happens, they're saying there's no risk to you. So that's that, y'all. I want to always keep you guys up to date on what is going on, especially with AI and technology and the government and just everything out there so that we can be aware because we know what knowledge is power. So again, down in the comments, let me know just overall what you think about this entire thing. But other than that, I thank you so much for watching.
Now, what do you think about that? Do you, so what they're doing is they're using the male mosquitoes to infect the female mosquitoes with the self-deleting markers in it. But the female mosquito is the only one that bites humans, and the only one they're using the genes on. I mean, no, they're using them on the males, and then the male infects the female mosquito, and the female is the one that actually feeds off human beings. It sounds strange, and we need to pay attention to it. Keep your head on the swivel. Like and share the video. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, and I don't know. You better pay attention. Peace.